So the current case of Jeremie Sowerby is still listed as complex. Basically, May 19th, they had a final trial management conference, basically getting together, making sure which evidence is legit, what isn't. You know, the judge looks over paperwork to see if they're ready to begin the trial. I think for VIP or Millennium Technologies and New Mining, which is actually, that's one scheme. And then he's got the Soft Tech Justice Capital, and then he's also got the Dunamis Global Technologies or something like that. But basically, yeah, those are the different entities Jeremie had that he's being sued for. But the one that was supposed to be scheduled for June 3rd, I think it was Millennium Technologies, relating to 200 people with theft of, like, I think they said 1.5 million or 2.5 million, which again leads me to believe that the other 55 million or so, at least, is between the other fraud that Jeremie did, because that's what the amount was that got stolen, was about 57 million from thousands of people. But the June 3rd hearing, which is today, it actually got postponed, by the way, to November 18th. So that, and along with all the other scams, and like I said, Soft Tech Capital, the so-called hedge funds that he made. Sorry if I'm not saying all these names correctly. I don't have all the information in front of me to read it. I've kind of been rusty in this regard because it's not something like I read about every day. You know, life gets to me. I don't just think and follow Jeremie all the time, but just sometimes I think to shoot a video, or I, chat GPT certain info, try to read about the upcoming trials because I want to follow it. I view Jeremie as a celebrity criminal. I knew him personally, so I just want to see him go down. I still have hard feelings for what he did to me and other people, and I'm hoping that more stories come out because it's got me intrigued. And it's just crazy how I knew him, so it's intriguing for me. It's something I want to follow, and it's entertainment at this point too, to be honest. But still, I have emotion attached to it, and others who also got stolen from him, or people who may know him or heard stories of Jeremie, can look on these videos and kind of hear more details, things that mainstream media or mainstream news is not going to talk about. Like I said, there's 3 different news videos, Channel 12, on Jeremie in Arizona. It's not like other news stations in other states or even Canada are talking about him. People who were a victim of his may not even know he got arrested. So how are they going to go to authorities to report their theft, right? So maybe they could be watching these and then share their stories as well. So I think these videos can be used for good in that regard. So yeah. And then, like I said, maybe some people got stolen from by Jeremie or ripped off, and he was disguised as a different name. Who's to say he didn't have fake IDs when he was in a different state? All he had to do was run back to Canada every time he did something, and he got away with it. His ego got the best of him, where he actually thought he could get away with this, recent scam. So that's what it comes down to. But his case is complex. The judge has to look over what evidence should be good, what should be thrown out. Both sides have to come to agreement on what evidence is concrete, stipulate on that at least, because again, there is evidence against him. That's why he's still without bail and he's locked up in jail somewhere, or a detention center, because I think the judge knows that even if Jeremie's in there 2, 3 years, 4 years, if it takes that long, that his prison sentence is going to be at least that long. So that's just going to be subtracted from the main time anyways. But there's some complex stuff going on. They can't do the court hearing until they get specifics. But even if they had the Millennium Technologies trial for June 3rd, today, you still got to wait November 18th for the other trials. So maybe they just want to lump them all together. Maybe they want to find new jury members too, who know more about the logistics and complexities of, wire fraud, bank transfers, cryptocurrency and how that works. And just him and Luis Ortega have separate indictments. They also have individual indictments where they paired up together, money laundering, although Jeremie's got more separate ones with that, and then different people collecting. I remember that from a long time ago when I read how it wasn't just him, it was other people's accounts too. But he had LLCs connected through different names that he opened up. And he's just moving money around. That's all it is. Creating shell companies, companies that receive money, but they don't do anything of intrinsic value outside of just receiving money, right? It's so money can be moved around and then those accounts get closed down. I'm sure there's even bank records to see if there's video camera footage of people withdrawing from these accounts. It might even be different people and they want to bring them to question. Who knows? There's a lot of complexities and it's all being worked out. And I just wonder what Jeremie's telling them, Probably trying to lie to them and shift blame to someone who died so they can't question him, or just say stuff like how he was working for somebody, he didn't know the ins and outs. His job was just to push the cells that he thought was true. Knowing Jeremie, he'll say something like that. Just like I said, to shift the blame, and he'll probably have his lawyer too, draw up something fancy so he gets less of a sentence. He'll do anything he can to just not admit his fault. Him and Luis Ortega both plead not guilty to all accusations. Really? But that's what criminals do. But yeah, I just love to see Jeremie talk his way out to authorities with this. He's so used to, working on the outside. And right now it's all just like a mystery because we can't really read what goes on behind prison or jail walls. So right now just kind of reading about it until we get to see the trial. And we can't even see Jeremie in a jumpsuit. Usually these inmates have jumpsuits on, or like a mugshot. He's been in jail for over 2 years, almost 2 years. I think 2 years and 2 more months. That's pretty crazy. And he still hasn't got sentenced. And most of the holdings in jail before there's a trial to sentence somebody is 70 days. It can go longer if there's complexities. And there's like 3 different complexities listed. And Jeremie's case falls into all 3 of those categories. Again, I wish I had a separate device to read this info off and share it with you, but just ChatGPT it. It'll break down the complexities of it and how it relates to Jeremie's trial, and it's pretty interesting too. Like I said, I'm probably going to stop this recording and then read about it and then say, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that. But I'm just kind of going off, brief memory of it. So yeah, we have to wait till November 18th. So until then, he's just going to be locked up in jail, and we're out of the loop as far as what's going on. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they have to recycle through different jury members as it gets more complex. Some of them might not understand some of the logistics of this, so they might not be qualified to be part of the jury. Like I said, everything has to be aligned before they can move on with the trial. The judge has to talk back and forth, like I said, to both lawyers and just make sure everything is ready to go. So, I know that's a long video. I was kind of going a little bit onto off topic, but I'm just kind of rambling right now. I'm just really tired. I actually have to eat more and take a shower and wind down. I'm probably going to stay up late tonight, not sleep again, but I'll manage and I'll be okay. So, like I said, just got to get my car fixed so I can pass emissions, renew my tags, and then plan a trip to San Antonio. I really want to go visit there again, see my cousin, and have a good time. So If I have to wait till the fall, so be it. I know it's really hot in the summer in San Antonio. It's more humid as well, especially more humid. But the summers here suck too, so I may just stay low, get goals accomplished, and then maybe plan a trip there in the fall. But yeah, just got to get some stuff done, and then all that good stuff. So yeah, if I hear any more info or things I forgot to mention, depending on how I feel, I might post another video about Jeremie Sowerby. So, like I said, if you're a victim or if you know someone who knew Jeremie who also got stolen from or heard any kind of stories about him, please share your responses below. I'd love to hear about it. And others who are watching this video, they may want to read about that as well. So, but yeah, for those who don't know, he did get arrested almost 2 years ago. And we're just awaiting trial. So that's kind of the situation now. We'll see what happens. And truthfully, I think there's other lawsuits coming in that he did along the way. Even lawsuits that happened 8, 9 years ago, 10 years. I mean, shoot, I wish I knew how to sue him, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do. I don't want to spend all this money and just not have anything happen from it, and then I get more upset. I just kind of want to block it out, but if there's a way I can go after him too, even though it was 17 years ago now, if someone can give me advice, please reach out to me and let me know. I have some old emails of me and Jeremie, pictures of our text, pictures of the contracts, and then just other text messages with others. And I feel my information can be useful if someone wants to reach out to me. So anyways, that would be it for now. And like I said, I know some stories about him from 17 years ago as well. Things that go back 18, 19 years ago, even 20 years ago. So yeah, if anyone wants any information, let me know. I know some stuff. But yeah, that would be it for now. All right.